Hey, it's Bamoni. Thank you for tuning into my channel. This is episode number 2. So I'm going to talk to you about my life in Korea so far. I get asked by people online just like how is life here as a black person, how is life as an English teacher, what made me decide to come here, how do I live when I don't understand Korean. Yeah, just, you know, wanting to know all questions that I'd be wondering too. And sometimes I ask myself, how am I doing this? But yeah, so life in Korea. Well, a year and a half so far here. It will be 2 years at the end of August. And in my first year that I got here, I was in a smaller city in the south, about 4.5 hours away from where I am now in Seoul. So the city is called Changwon, and I honestly always say it wrong, so don't quote me on that pronunciation. Changwon. That's like the best that I've gotten it to be. So that's where I was before, and thankfully it is about 30-minute drive to Busan. So I was in Busan every weekend, at least when I befriended people who lived in Busan. Before I befriended people in Busan, I was just, you know, in Changwon. And you know, when you first get to Korea, depending on like, okay, I got hired through a public school. I went the public school route. So you can either go the public school route or like the private academy route. And I will make an episode fully on that, because I know like people want to know how to do that and how that works. So I'm just gonna like sidestep that and just leave it very general with that. So I came the public school route, and so with the recruitment agency that I used, they hired a bunch of people at the same time. So when I got to Korea, I met all the other people who got hired in the same batch as me. And that actually allowed me to meet people. So that was nice to see other people. There was even some black girls. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so relieved. And so yeah, so I got here. They put us up, the agency put us up in a hotel for our first night. And the next day we all were brought to the hospital for our checkups. You have to do like a full physical and blood work and stuff when you first get to Korea, drug testing, all that good stuff. And then what else did we do? Yeah, just like administrative stuff. And then we were picked up by our co-teachers from our assigned public schools. So that's one thing that I really loved about the agency that I used, is that they helped me from start to finish. Like, it was just, they had all the answers, you know, it was just so helpful. And he even, the man who runs the agency, his name's Alistair. I will leave actually the information for the agency that I used in the description. So yeah, and let me know if you want like a referral. I would love to do that. So he also even offers just like aftercare service. So even when you arrive, let's say you want to order stuff, or even before you get here, if you want to order stuff, he will buy it for you and then you pay him back when you get paid. He was just so cool, godsend. So yeah, I highly recommend using him to get a job here. So yes, you're picked up, and then it's great. My co-teacher brought me straight to like the offices to get my ARC card. That's your like resident ID card. Like, she was very efficient, and I love that, because some of the other teachers I talked to, it's like their co-teacher really slacked. Like they delayed getting them set up with like their you know, their ARC cards, their bank accounts, and maybe even were asked to do it themselves and stuff. And my co-teacher, literally the day she picked me up, we didn't go home until everything was done. Like everything, like she even after, let's say there was stuff we couldn't do, she was like very diligent about that, and I was so relieved. Oh, she was such a godsend. If you have a good co-teacher when you come to Korea, your life is set. Like it's so different from people who end up with a co-teacher who doesn't give a shit, because then you're just like they don't want to help you, they don't care to help you. So yeah, it really depends. So make sure you're putting out some positive energy so that you're, you know, attracting that back. It will pay off, it always does. So what else? Yeah, so the town, Changwon in general, is a nice town, definitely. I even miss it now sometimes, to be honest with you. And I never thought I'd see the day, because I was so eager to get out. By the end of my contract, I was just like, oh, I want to get out of here. I mean, especially when you start spending so much time in Busan. Busan is for sure my favorite city in all of Korea. If I ever came back to Korea, it would be to live in Busan and work in a public school. So let's see, when I first got here, I hung out with some of the people that I met through my orientation, but you know, I didn't end up pursuing many of those friendships, because I realized, you know, when the dust had settled, that we actually didn't have much in common. And yeah, so I don't like forcing things, so it was like, you know, you just kind of go your separate ways. But I also Changwon it didn't have vegan restaurants. That was one thing that I also didn't like about it. It was really hard. It's like, if I ever wanted to eat out and ensure a fully vegan experience, I could only go to this Indian restaurant, which, mind you, this Indian restaurant is delicious. I miss it. Oh God, such good food. And I'll leave the name for that Indian restaurant in my description in case you live in Changwon and you're watching this and you know. But yes, Maharaja, I think it was called. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, sorry if I am. So yeah, that was the only place I could really eat out and know, like, okay, yeah, this is like vegan food. And what else did I not like about it? Yeah, well, I mean, overall it was great. Like, my co-teachers were great, my school was great, my principal was great, everyone loved me, the kids loved me, I love them. It was just simply the fact that I was like, okay, I don't, you know, it's too small. I want to get out there. Busan's lit. I want to be somewhere that's, you know, more lit. So I eventually befriended people that lived in Busan, and that was really good. Busan is so much fun, especially in the summer. Oh my God. I love Busan in the summer. There's so many beaches, and I am a beach bum in the summertime. Like, yeah. So and the crowd, there's a lot of black people in Busan too. It's really cool. There's like this really nice community there. Overall, my first year in Korea has been I'd say pretty eventful. I had quickly learned that the way to make time go by well and quickly, even quicker than it already does, because it flies here, is to get involved in as much as you can. So I eventually joined swimming. I learned how to swim in this community center near my house, so that was really good. Yeah, I just started keeping myself busy. I enrolled in a certification for holistic nutritional coaching, and so that, you know, I was able to really dive into that. And then I had my blog too, and I did some stuff with that. And oh, and traveling, of course, how could I forget? Oh man, yes. Okay, that is definitely the thing that made, like, all those times where I wanted to go home all the better, is the access to traveling. Like, I think within my first month, because I got my my bonus for like arriving, you get like a bonus and all this stuff. One of my first major purchases was a flight ticket to South Africa. Like, I just became very like travel oriented. I mean, even before I got to Korea, I had already started the whole like traveling and wanting to, you know, do that. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm out here now. Like, it was just like a whole other ball game. So yeah, I remember that I got my ticket to South Africa, and I was able to travel to quite a bit. I mean, I feel like it's quite a bit compared to how little I traveled before. I mean, in my first year in Korea, I went to South Africa, I went to Bali, I went to Cambodia, and then I came home. Yeah, I came home twice actually. So that's 5 trips in 1 year. I think that's pretty fucking dope. So this year I've actually slowed down. Yeah, this year I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm cool with it because I'm like, as soon as I'm done my contract, I'm planning to travel a lot. So I'm like, you know what, let me just stack it up. But I do have a trip coming up. I'm excited. In June, I'm going to Vietnam. So that's going to be really cool. Year 2. Let's see what happened in year 2. Oh, wait, I forgot one thing. Year 1, I also met my my ex-boyfriend. I met him in Busan. He lived in Busan. And so we ended up deciding that we were going to move in together at one point in our relationship. So when we, like, both our contracts were going to be up around the same time. So we decided to move to Seoul together and move in together. So that is how I transitioned into my second year in Korea, in Seoul, cohabitating. And I'm actually gonna have an episode all about cohabitation. And it's not even just about cohabitation. It's about cohabitation as a Congolese girl, coming from a Congolese household where that is a no-no. Yeah, I want to speak about that. I want to share for others who are considering it, others who maybe also come from Congolese households and stuff. That's gonna have its own episode. So yeah, moving in, and I had a new job where I'm currently at right now, moving into a new city. So I'm a little bit outside of Seoul. Like to take I can take a subway right into Seoul. It takes me like what, 20-25 minutes. So it's really good to be that close to central Seoul and stuff. My school it's not a public school, it's not a private school, it's like in between. So we are run in a government building, so we still have that government influence, but we're not a public school. So it's good because I don't have any of the craziness that happens in Hagwons, like private schools, and I have the stability that comes when the government is involved in any capacity. So I'm really, really relieved at that is the second job that I attracted in my time here. And all that as well too. I talked to some of my coworkers who have been in Korea for much longer and worked in different jobs, including private schools. And they're like, to them, it's like, this place is a walk in the park. And, you know, I mean, it's more work definitely than the public school, but I get a major sense that it could be worse. So yeah, and making new friends. That's yeah, I'm still doing that. I mean, I've only been here for 6 months, and now that it's finally getting warmer, I can, you know, I'm getting back out there and stuff more, and I'm recently newly single again. So that also opens you up to people as well again, and I'll have an episode about that too. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself, you know. I'm gonna make these next 6 months epic. That's my goal. I want to make sure that I savor all my last moments here and everything, and, you know, meet all the people I'm supposed to and do all the things I'm supposed to, and just keep evolving and pushing myself until I leave. So if you have any questions at all about moving to Korea and such, please leave it in the comments, or yeah, just get in touch with me, and I will be more than happy to give you any information that I have that could help you. But I will be making an episode about how to move to Korea, so I will go into detail about that. So I think that's about it. That's the end of my list. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Hita.